Mark is going to go through all of them. So I'm starting out with marriage. We're going to end up talking about relationships, like I said, we're going to end up talking about relationships found in the kingdom, found with Christ. But before he has to talk about the hope, he has to say, hey, listen, we're all struggling in the messiness. So we've got this coming in. The next step. One day some parents brought their children to Jesus so that he could touch and bless them. But the disciples scolded the parents for bothering him. Right? Now why would they do that?
Sometimes kids are noisy.
Sometimes kids are noisy. They're distracting. Listen, we do children's church so that we can give a message pointed to the children so the children can understand that message, not to get them out of big people church. And some of the reason people want to get people out of big people church is because, you know what? Children don't tithe. Children don't give to the church. So we don't want the children to inconvenience the people that really support the church. That's the heart of the disciples' thought. They're just children. They can't really do anything for us. We don't get anything out of children. When Jesus saw this was happening, he was angry with his disciples. He said to them, "Let the children come to me. Don't stop them. For the kingdom of God belongs to those who are like these children. I tell you the truth, anyone who doesn't receive the kingdom of God like a child will never enter it." Then he took the children in his arms and he placed his hands on their heads and he blessed them. And let me start out and let me throw it out this way and tell you this. This picture of relationships is the one that we should be understanding. We should be thinking about relationships this way. And that's the relationship goes one way and it goes from God to the children. Now when we talk about love, Jesus blesses the children not because the children can do anything for Jesus. And that is how we are supposed to live everything. So here's the challenge. First problem. The first problem is that the disciples are trying to figure out, well, when can we let the children in so they're not disrupting the process? Well, here's the deal. God always believes children are a blessing. Right? So in the first part, they missed what they thought, how God thought of it. So because they missed God's design on children, they missed the application in the real world. They missed it. But I think this is more important. And this is, again, back to when I would do my pre-marriage counseling. When I talk about love, I would say love is sacrificing for the other person, but expecting nothing back. There are people that have this idea, and they call it the transactional relationship model. And it's the idea that I do something nice for Josie, and Josie will do something nice for me, and our books are balanced. And then I do something nice for Dorothy, Dorothy does something nice for me, and we've got balanced books. And the reason I do nice things for Dorothy is so Dorothy will do nice things for me. And they say that's how humanity works together. I do good things for other people so they do good things for me. Listen, that's eye for an eye. We as Christians don't live eye for an eye. We're called to live something better. So I will say what that is, where I give something to somebody and they don't give me back, I call that love. And I illustrate it by talking about parents. What parents do for a child, they do not because they expect the child to do anything back. I get my child Christmas presents not because my child is going to give me Christmas presents. I expect it to be one way. If I stop feeding my child, it's not a if the parents stop feeding children, it's not a problem because the children aren't worth it. It's a problem with the parents, right? So we understand that with children. Well, that's how our relationship's supposed to be with everybody. That word love that goes one way without expecting reply is supposed to go outward to everybody. If we're talking about the transactional leadership, or if we're supposed to use a transactional reaction model or relationship model, I'm supposed to try to, as best I can, to outgive Dorothy. I'm supposed supposed to try to do more nice things for Dorothy than she could ever do for me. And more nice things for Joseph. And I'm supposed to keep working that way. And I'm supposed to try to live in every relationship like that. As a matter of fact, more than that, the more mean or horrible, rotten somebody is to me, I'm supposed to really try to love on those people. That is how it works. That's God's design.